You're here because you want to know what's better for making money. Is it crypto or stocks? Which one can actually grow your wealth the most? Let's start with crypto. Imagine you have a video game, and inside the game, there's a special coin you can use to buy things. Now, imagine that coin exists in real life, but only online, and people all over the world agree it has value. That's basically what cryptocurrency is. The most famous one is Bitcoin, but there are thousands of others like Ethereum, Solana, and even joke ones like Dogecoin. Here's why people get excited about crypto. If you bought just one Bitcoin in 2015 for about $300, by late 2021 it was worth nearly $69,000. That's like buying an old bicycle for cheap and then one day discovering it turned into a Ferrari. But here's the problem. By 2022, that same Bitcoin dropped back down to around 20,000. Imagine your Ferrari suddenly turning back into a rusty old bike overnight. That's how extreme crypto can be. Now, let's talk about stocks. Stocks are much older and steadier. When you buy a stock, you're buying a small piece of a company. Let's say you buy one share of Apple. You now own a tiny part of Apple. If Apple sells more iPhones and makes more profit, your piece is worth more. Some companies also share part of their profits with you through something called dividends. It's like owning a small slice of a pizza shop. If the shop sells more pizzas, your slice becomes more valuable, and sometimes the owner even hands you a few free slices. Stocks don't usually make people rich overnight, but they do grow consistently over time. For the past 100 years, the US stock market has returned about 8 to 10% a year on average. That doesn't sound exciting at first, but let me give you an example. If you invested $1,000 in the stock market 50 years ago and just left it alone, today it would be worth over $150,000. Slow, steady, and proven. So let's compare side by side. Crypto is like a lottery ticket. Sometimes it pays off huge, but often it's unpredictable and risky. Stocks are more like planting a tree. You plant the seed, take care of it, and over time it grows strong, giving you shade and fruit for years. With crypto, you might strike gold quickly or you might lose everything. With stocks, you almost always make money if you stay patient. Here's a real-world example. Imagine you had $10,000. If you put it all in Bitcoin in 2015, by 2021 you could have millions. But if you put that same money in at the top of the market in 2021, by 2022 you would have lost half. Meanwhile, if you put that 10,000 into the stock market in 2015, by 2021 it would have grown to around 22,000. Not millions, but steady growth without giving you a heart attack. Another way to think about it, crypto is like going to a casino in Las Vegas. You might walk out a millionaire, but you could just as easily lose your entire wallet. Stocks are like owning pieces of hundreds of businesses. Some of those businesses will fail, some will succeed, but overall the group grows and you benefit. So which one makes more money? The honest answer is this. Crypto can make you more if you're lucky and you time it just right, but it can also wipe you out. Stocks, on the other hand, will almost always make you money if you stick with them long enough. That's why most smart investors don't pick only one. They do both. They keep most of their money in stocks for safety and long-term growth, and then put a smaller part into crypto for the chance of big wins. For example, maybe 70% in stocks and 30% in crypto, or even 90% in stocks and 10% in crypto if they want to play it safer. Here's a story to make it clearer. Imagine two friends. Sarah invests $1,000 into the stock market every year for 20 years. John invests $1,000 into crypto every year for 20 years. What happens? Sarah will almost certainly be wealthy because the stock market grows steadily over decades. John might end up super rich if he chooses the right coins at the right time. But he could also end up with almost nothing. There's no guarantee. So here's the bottom line. If you want stability and you want to be confident that your money will grow over time, stocks win the race. If you're chasing high risk and high reward, and you're okay with big losses, crypto is where that happens. But no matter what, here's the golden rule. Never invest money you can't afford to lose. If losing that money means you can't pay rent or buy groceries, don't risk it. Start small. Even $20 is enough to learn the basics. And always use safe, trusted platforms, not some random website promising quick riches. At the end of the day, it's not about which one is better for everyone. It's about which one fits you. Do you want excitement and risk? That's crypto. Do you want patience and proven results? That's stocks. So now it's your turn. Which one do you think fits you better? Team crypto, team stocks, or a mix of both? If you had a good time watching this and learned something new, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. Share it with a friend who needs to hear this, and let me know in the comments what topic you want me to tackle next. See you in the next one.